So Lincoln was really like kind of this master class in everything from studio etiquette, because some days they're in a good mood, some days they're not. Some days they're riding with somebody and like you're hanging out all day, and then some days you're editing, some days you're tracking, some days you're playing the part because like they're having trouble figuring it out. And yeah, like it really just was. And I guess the other thing to me, it was the first time with Lincoln, and then I kind of experienced it later with like doing stuff like Avril Lavigne and stuff like that also, is you're not just making a record at that point. Like you're making a product that's going to be mass marketed. So there are business meetings involved and tie-ins. Like it was kind of this look into just how big a record can be and how many other moving parts there are when you're, one of the main focuses for your record label.
Yeah. So in these maybe more stressful sessions where I'm sure there were times when all the band members were in the room with you at once, maybe more people, how did you, what were some techniques you used maybe during stressful sessions where you're having to experience multiple personalities at once and maybe conflicts? What kind of advice would you give to, new engineers and producers, to keep your cool in these kinds of situations?
I mean, definitely have a game face and get a hobby. This has been long enough now, I think I can talk about it. At one point, the band, we were working on this record for so long, they decided they wanted to fill the live room at NRG with balloons. Right.
Why?
And I'm like, they're like, we want a different vibe. And I'm like, okay. I very much let them know that I hate the balloons. So I feel like if this ever gets back to them, it's fine.
Wait, you told them that you hated balloons?
No. I told them that I hated the balloon thing. Because, we worked on records subsequently, and it was kind of a going joke after the fact. In fact, when my now wife first met Mike Shinoda, she's like, so these balloons? So, they know. So I thought, they want, a few hundred balloons, and haha. Because you've probably been in the live rooms at NRG. Yeah. It's like a 25 by 25 foot room. So I did that. They asked that on a Friday. They come in Monday, and there's 300 or 400 balloons. I called a party rental place. And they're like, this is great. When are the rest going to get here?
Oh, God.
And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, no, we want balloons.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, how many? And the guitarist's like, let's have a balloon meeting. And I'm like, all right. And I was just already having a busy day. So we had this, how many do you want? What color? So basically they want it waist deep in the live room.
Jeez.
And I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, here are my concerns, people tripping over mic cables or things popping and getting into the vintage tube mics.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's kind of on you to figure out, isn't it? I was like, yeah, all right, fine. And just kind of leave and walk up. And it's I don't know, order me 4,000 balloons from party rental place. And the van shows up with these giant condom looking things full of inflated balloons. And you just,
God.
But I guess in me being fine, I'll figure it out. And this was kind of really early on into me working my way up the food chain. I did already know them, but I still was technically the assistant and then doing Pro Tools editing.
So they sent testing you.
They sent Ethan out, and Ethan's he's like, I was told to maybe mention to you to check your attitude in the balloon meetings.